Deborah, Rancho Palos Verdes, Leo Laporte. Hi, Deborah.
Hello, Leo. Thank you so much for taking my call. This is kind of like a public service.
Yeah, it's a public service, but I get paid for it. I'm not going to lie to you. I make a living at it.
Okay, well, I'll greatly appreciate it.
Like most public servants, I'm cashing in.
All right, well, you deserve it.
Thank you.
Yes, definitely.
Actually, I'm not cashing in like most public servants. Not anywhere near that, but go ahead.
Okay.
What can I do for you?
I hope I'm wording this correctly because even though I listen to you, I don't always understand what you're talking about, so I'm not as techie as a lot of your other callers are. But I am trying to figure out when somebody, okay, I know when you log into a website, that server, and your own computer will show where you logged into and what time you did it.
Yeah.
Unless somebody erases it somehow.
That's right. That's in your browser history.
Okay. What if somebody, i.e. a student, my daughter,
okay,
logs in during a class onto a website, which they're supposed to be logging into? It's called Learning Catalytics.
Good.
And, which I never heard of, but... And she doesn't have to keep logging into it, but what happens is the professor wants the kids to attend the class even though he provides everything so that you could do it from some remote location.
So it's an online learning site that professor is recommending, and he does keep is this what you're saying? And he keeps track of whether the students use it or not.
Well, what he wants to keep track of is that the kids actually show up in class even though they wouldn't have to. So... he expects the kids to go to class. He doesn't use sign-in sheets except for 2 days during this entire semester.
Yeah.
First day, she does the sign-in sheet. Second day, she misses the sign-in sheet. He circulates the thing while they're taking the quiz. So it starts off with a quiz. Then the time period for the availability, the ability of a kid to be able to take the quiz, that shuts down. He's got this projector. He shines it on the wall. He does his lecture. He talks for, 5-10 minutes about some topic. And then there will be some little symbol on the wall, on the projector that prompts the kids to then log in.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
Now, by then, all the kids in the class, there's like 35 to 40 kids in the class. By then, all their screens have gone blank, and they all have to refresh their screens in order to do this.
Right.
If you're in the class, which my kid was, I need an IT perspective to try to help her prove that she was in fact in class. Because this was 2 months ago. She doesn't remember what the guy was wearing. She doesn't remember if it was...
So he's asking her for proof because she's not on the sign-up sheet that she was there so that she can get credit. And you're hoping that her computer will demonstrate that she was there. That
would be a godsend. So when she presses this refresh button, is that... I mean, it's not like logging in. When you do your refresh button...
No, but the browser would have a record of her being... It wouldn't prove that she was in the class, but it would have a record of her being on that site at that time.
Would it prove, like, kind of timestamp exactly when she...
Yeah, but remember, she could do that from home, too.
But here's the thing. She can't. Because all the people, sitting in their pajamas in their apartments... All they see is a blank screen. They don't see the professor. Their screens, after they, illegally take their quiz at their remote location.
What school is this? Is this reform school?
It is a wonderful top university east of the Mississippi.
Okay.
California, but no, and it's a great place.
And you're a tiger mom because you're not going to let this slide.
Well, no, here's the reason. She will not be able to apply to med school for 2 years because of this honor code violation.
That's ridiculous. Okay.
Tell me right. I know.
So,
I know
yeah. So her laptop's browser, the browser she used, will have a record of all the websites she visited with a time and date stamp. So you could take a screenshot of it and send it to them and say, look, here it is, proof positive. On this date, at this time, she was on that website.
But will it show when she refreshed her screen? See, here's the deal.
Yes.
Oh, it does.
Well, okay, so you're saying she logged into that website before she entered the classroom?
No, she enters the classroom. She logs on the website.
Yeah, it'll show that moment. Now, so it's more than just being there. He needs to verify that she refreshed her screen at that particular time?
Well, see, that's the only way I can distinguish her actions from the kids sipping their coffee in their kitchens. What they can do is they'll see a blank screen, but they'll have to keep refreshing their computers like every 2 minutes because they have no idea when the professor...
Depends what you mean by a refresh. If you mean she hit F5 and refreshed the browser, it will record that.
I think that's what she means.
Yeah. She needs to, though, do this quickly because history doesn't last forever. It depends on how the setting, but typically just a few months. How long ago was this?
February 4.
Yeah, she'll be all right.
Okay.
But she has to do it now. So tell her to look in her browser history and scroll back to that date and time, and there should be an entry there for that website. I can't promise you that this famous school east of the Mississippi will accept this. But, boy, that seems like a shame to prevent her from applying to med school for 2 years because of this. Seems dopey.
It's actually kind of tragic. We're trying to take it from a
no
human
kidding.
perspective because if you
she's devastated, I'm sure. And she was there.
Yeah, she was. She was.
I'm sure she's devastated. And really, that seems like a flimsy thread to hang somebody's med school admission on, the fact that they saw the sign-up sheet go by during the quiz. Seems like a very flimsy thread.
That's right. Plus, he only did it twice during the entire semester, so it's not something you
What a
even
dope.
I know.
What a dope. Okay. I think you should, well, frankly, I think you could appeal this to a higher authority and
I can't even go there right now. I'm just trying to be real practical.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, tell her, honey, Leo says you can look at your browser history and there should be an entry there at that date and time saying you were on that website. Whether the professor, who sounds like a real martinet, whether he'll accept it or not is another matter. He's not bound to.
So even when she refreshes it, it'll show when she refreshed it because she would have only had to refresh her browser like 5 times.
Yes, it should show every time that she refreshed her browser.
Oh, thank
Not
you.
waking up the machine, because the screen goes blank, but actually refreshing the browser page. Yeah, every one of those is logged.
Yeah, well, she would have to. It would have to involve. Actually,
well, I'm not sure I understand how this works, but yes, tell her to look in the history and hope she can find it there. She also should check her Google. Her phone will know she was in the classroom, by the way. You should check her location history. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.